Hey guys, we are in a creepy graveyard, and you're actually hearing me. Uh, this is after the entire game has already been finished. Um, what happened was my initial recording of this section got lost, and I'm still not entirely sure how. I continued to record the next. I think there are three more videos after this. That kind of move forward and finish the game. And what I did was I went ahead and just started a brand new game and rushed over to this area so we could go over the next couple bits all over again. Now this, I haven't even started this section, so we're going to start that from scratch. So I apologize for that, but here we go. So we've got this section here. We have not yet picked up the lantern, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I guess here is one of the first times we would be getting this mechanic that tells us where to locate an object. But if you remember, we came around from the opposite side the first time, so we never had that. Oh, damn. And so one of the funny things as well is in the actual video that I recorded, we had finished this entire investigation. If you remember, we found a few items, and on my way out, before we ignored this section, on my way out, I actually picked up a dagger off this body and placed it in a stump and walked away. That was actually the final piece of the investigation, and when I came back here in the original video for this section, part 6, I immediately went to the body and we just began the investigation right away. We were completely finished with this entire section and didn't even realize it, which is kind of funny. But so you didn't really miss too much. There was not a lot of discovery going on. Again, I just want to point out how absolutely amazing the lighting is. The light filtering through the stained glass there is just absolutely gorgeous. It's so good. So there's the lantern that we need. I think while we're here we can also pick up the crow. I don't think that we need to kind of discover that part of the investigation first. I mean, we did pick up the lantern on our first run through, so I should be able to do that without having to do the trigger, if I can remember where it was. It is to the right of this Jesus figure. It's actually right here, and I keep referring to it as a dead crow. Pretty obvious that it is not dead. This is a stone crow. A dead animal would not be able to spark fire and cause that brazier down there to light. I'm not sure if I need to wait for all of that to finish, but now we can come in through here. We can inspect this and fix it. Also, I don't remember if I placed the lantern down. I did not. So there, and then all that should be left is to light the brazier here. Brazier. I think brazier is more for a bra. But I don't like the word brazier. Sounds stupid. Okay, so there's that cool dagger. Now we can place this on the stump and proceed with our crazy murder that took place here. So this is basically where we began. All the rest was already done. And you would guess that this would be pretty boring, pretty par for the course, me just running through this section. But believe it or not, I've already forgotten kind of how the chronology of this particular murder works. But I think I might be able to remember this woman turns out to be an enormous bitch. Do I have one inside? I don't. Okay, so I think it begins here. And then it goes here. And then I think it goes... that. That one, and then I think this is the last one? I could be wrong. Let's see what happens.
No, he's harmless. You know this is wrong.
Chad.
Okay, so I've obviously screwed up. If that's the case, then I believe it goes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this might be it.
Our boy. Chad is putting our boy in that crypt.
And bricking him up. Giving him to the sleeper. Forever.
You know he's harmless. You know this is wrong.
Chad, finish those bricks before he wakes up.
Ah, my leg!
Chad, let me see it.
Get the hell away from me. This is Dale's fault. He should have been helping.
Dale's weak. He always has been.
You're right. He is weak.
Chad, get off of him! He's your brother! Get off of him!
The hell's going on? Where's Ethan?
The one who sleeps must not sleep. Your Uncle Chad is dead. Rose. Ethan.
It's not right. Ethan's our boy.
Dad, I need to get into the mine.
What? Mine? My key. I don't have it.
I guess I'll use the tunnel near the gate. Just keep Mom away from me, all right? She's sick. You're all sick.
Okay, so that's
The
that
sleeper
murder.
must not sleep. Ethan disturbed something. Whatever it was, it got out, into the air, and into the minds of his family.
And so that murder at the time, and even now, I mean, the names, part of the problem with that blue ghost effect on those characters is that they all seem more or less identical to me. It took me until this next sequence where I started to figure out actual names. So Chad is actually Ethan's uncle. I guess Dale's brother. Dale is Ethan's father. I believe the mother's name is Missy, and Dale has a brother named Travis. And I think those are all of the...
Say? You'd be surprised by how little they know. The dead can't explain what it means to be dead. They walk down stairs that disappear beneath their feet, headed for some bright blade of memory they'll never reach.
I've completely lost my train of thought. There really aren't any other major players, I don't think. But it is kind of funny. I mean, when you take a step back, you realize that there is this Vandergrift house, which is where Ethan was, where he activated this whole story. But the funny thing is, oh wow, you can totally see through the world in that little wall over there. Aside from the Vandergrift residence, every single person in this town seems to be one of the Carters, which is kind of goofy. But, you know, it does make the story feel a lot more intimate. One of the things that I wanted to point out that I noticed the last time was when we came back here, this door, this gate, is clearly the gate that Ethan's dad, Dale, was referring to when he said that he didn't have the key, and Ethan talked about going through an alternate entrance. And so we kind of discovered that on our own before reaching that point, which is kind of funny. But I mentioned that in the original video that got lost, and I just thought it was worth mentioning. It's kind of neat. One of the other, I guess you could say, blessings about having lost the original video is I did a lot of back and forth. There were a couple sections in particular that were really frustrating. I wandered around for a long time before figuring out what to do. And some of it was kind of fun. There were a couple of funny moments. But generally speaking, it probably was overly long. I had to cut some sections of me trying to figure out some puzzles. We won't have, obviously, any of that now. But I will try to retrace my steps, I guess, a little bit. And especially in the cave over here, if any of you watching this have actually played this game before, you would have been tearing out your hair over the things that I was missing. I'll explain exactly what I mean by that in just a couple minutes. We're going to leave that because it is almost pitch black, the clue that we're looking at over there. I'm not sure if it was in the previous time we were down here or in the video that got cut, but my initial instinct was, if you actually look up, this elevator shaft does go back higher, and you can raise it up to another level, and you can't jump down into the water. So my initial thinking was that we must need to go up there. You'll see that we actually don't. What I initially said was I thought that this might be that black abyss, black kind of hole in the wall that was opposite the other elevator we took. And I've thought about it, and I don't think it actually makes a whole lot of sense with where our elevator was in relation to that kind of black hole in the wall. So I'm not really sure what that's all about. But anyway, what happened initially was, so this pickaxe that I was looking for forever, I initially assumed we would need to break this rail car out by smashing the rocks. And it took me a very long time to kind of realize that that's not the case. And why that is, I'll show you in a minute. You're actually just supposed to smash right through it, which is fine. It makes logical sense, but based on what I saw, and you'll see we just smash right through it. Based on the pickaxe, how that was kind of the first thing that draws your eye. I thought that the ultimate finale of this whole puzzle would be freeing the rail car, not finding the pickaxe, which you can see is just kind of stuck in the wall here and needs to be illuminated for you to inspect and pick it up. Which I kind of want to call bullshit on, especially because in the video that got cut, I actually did find it. The lighting was just light enough behind it that I was able to pick out the pickaxe. And I couldn't pick it up until the rail car was freed. But I think that solves this puzzle now. We can solve this murder. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll see if I can remember the order of this. This is when I realized that this woman who was killed is actually Ethan's mom. And when I learned that and figured out that this is Ethan's dad, I was very pleased to see that he had killed her, which is kind of funny, but she absolutely deserved it after the previous murder, where she was more than willing to sacrifice her son. Oh, sorry. You know what? I've got this all wrong. It goes 2, 3, 4. Maybe not. Is he holding the pickaxe in this one? He is not. So why would he... Well, let's try it and see what happens.
Honey, he probably ran. Well, why wouldn't he? Why would he be here? Shit. That was probably a raccoon.
No, I don't think it was.
He's just a kid. He didn't disturb anything. He just found a room in an old house. That's it!
Our boy is the price. I'm going up there. The sleeper must not sleep. He can't get away. It's the sleeper's time to awake.
Missy, listen to yourself.
No, I see clearly. The sleeper breathes inside me.
You're sick. We all are.
Dale, what are you doing? Dale! Dale, what is this?
I'm fixing something.
Dale, you miserable coward! Let me out! The sleeper demands to rise! The sleeper must wake up! The sleeper must wake up! The sleeper must...
And so the first thing that came to mind as soon as that cutscene ended was, as far as I know, raccoons don't live in caves. So nice try,
Where's
Dale.
Mom? I thought I heard her voice.
She's, still looking for you. You need to leave. Go through there.
Through that water? It kind of looks like it's
No,
boiling.
no, it's just a simple chemical reaction. It's not actually boiling.
Mom! Mom! Where are you?
I'll deal with your brother. Just go, now.
So that is actually the voice of Travis, Ethan's brother.
He didn't kill his wife. She was no longer who she once was. Neither was he. Something was using all this pain and death. Something was becoming stronger.
So I just want to show something that when I was wandering around trying to find the pickaxe in the dark, I actually moved forward a bit and came across kind of the next section, I guess you could say, which I did before uncovering that sequence with the murder. And what I found was, oh, where is it? I guess it's still a bit further down here. What I found was this boiling water that Ethan refers to, which is right over here. And if I get out, you can see it looks really evil and really impassable. And it doesn't look inviting at all, which was a huge nope for me. Just turned around and decided, well, I might not know where to go, but we're going to figure that out before I even begin to try to figure out that section. But I guess we'll come back to that. I think in the next video it picks up right when we go on there, but I think I might reference kind of discovering that and not knowing what it was all about. And so that's what I'm referring to there, is having seen it before solving the murder. But right now we're able to go in and finish this puzzle. And another section, another thing about this section that is probably good that we're glazing over is that I still went around for a very long time before actually finding out how to solve the puzzle, which I will show you is incredibly simple. So like I said before, if you have played this game before watching me play through, you would be tearing your hair out. A, for how long it took me to find the pickaxe, and also how simple the solution to this puzzle actually is. Now I'm going to have to find all of the bodies again because this is a new game. But hopefully I can do that fairly quickly and with minimal deaths at the hand of this zombie, who I don't know actually responds to running. He did kill me once before. When I came back through here. And I'm still not 100% clear on how he works, but he still shows up very, very infrequently, and he doesn't pose all that much of a threat, especially after being killed by him the one time. Once you know kind of how it works, it's not all that terrifying, except when he shows up directly in front of you like that. That is really creepy. But I think we might have escaped. So that is 1. We do need 5. I had collected 5 of them, and 5 is exactly how many there are. I wasn't 100% sure about that. Yep, I thought I heard him. And I don't even know if we really need to go down that way. Where are we right now? Oh. 2. Okay. Am I going in circles right now? Oh god, there he is. Now I don't know how extensive his patrols are. He seems to walk in a straight line and then teleport. That's 3. So there's only 1 left within the maze here. And the last one will be in the chamber. Alright, there it is. So that should be the last one that we need to hunt for. Here we go. And I came up with so many theories about what to do here. I was looking at this note, at these 2 symbols, trying to think if those were clues. Went back into the maze, tried to see if there were more guys for me to rescue. And ultimately, what I came to figure out, I guess, is this very simple mechanic. I had been playing around with this, and I was so sure that I had actually tried this already, but you can go left and right. You can also go up and down, which I was kicking myself over. But if you look back over here, they each have a different shape surrounding a symbol. And so you just need to look at, and we'll skip the bottom one for now. The triangle is this V or circular shape. The diamond is this sideways Wu-Tang Clan symbol. That one is this crazy thing. I don't even know what the equivalent would be, this real life version of whatever the hell that is. The circle is a Z. The square is another Z. And don't tell me how I figured this out, but the bottom one is this symbol. And here's where I started celebrating and saying, oh yay, we're going through Stargate, for Russell, before this tentacle scared the absolute shit out of me. And I started to freak out. I do not like underwater video game levels. I don't like underwater real life. I don't like being underwater. I really don't like being underwater with Cthulhu. And this caused a huge problem for me. But luckily you don't hear me whining in this video like you did in the original that has disappeared. Instead, I will read the Curse of the Sea Thing. The Enochian Necronomicon, the iron ore miners had finally found it, but not all of them wanted to perform its ritual and disturb summon the sea thing, Gnei. One miner realized the ritual would unleash Gnei's flood upon this world, and so the miner had no choice but to stab the others with blades shards of magic Eltdown. Gnay, in response, cursed the miner, who now wanders the mine, doomed to prevent others from summoning the sea thing and flooding the world forever. And I had weird problems with this one. For some reason, there seems to be deliberate. There are problems with the wording, the grammar doesn't make any sense. But more importantly, the way that I read it, it sounds like what happened is, well, obviously the zombie that we're finding, that is patrolling around down there is this miner that Gnay cursed. But the curse doesn't make any sense to me, because Gnay was freed by the miner, and so his punishment was to wander the mine, preventing other people from summoning it. But either way, okay, so that's that.
I told you to stay out. God damn it. Look, it's dangerous in here. I'll read your story later. Okay? And, please don't tell your mother I'm in here. All right? Okay, now, you go. Get back home.
And that is the end of that chapter. We've got the same note we read before. This one, which I find very interesting. Request for clarification. Dear Mr. Carter, the United States Patent and Trademark Office has received your January 27, 1973 letter requesting further explanation as to why your recently submitted Patent 527F2D was rejected by this office. As we explained in our previous letter, the patent was rejected for infringing upon a previously existing patent. We have on record from you more than 4 dozen requested patents submitted in the last 16 months. None has been successful, and all have been met with challenges by you. Mr. Carter, we would like to consider this matter and future matters administratively closed. Sincerely, and it doesn't actually say on here, but oops, if you look, it says James Mackey, Administrative Director. Not that that has any significance, because we have no idea who that is. This one I like. Dale, get your shit out of our basement. Bring it to the goddamn dump. I am so sick of stepping over your lifetime of failure on my way to the washing machine. I'm not kidding. Either you move it or I burn it. Pleasant. And if you look now, this gate is closed off, but you can actually see Dale's shit. And it looks like more letters from the patent office in this box over here. So that's kind of a nice touch. And this is where I'm going to end the video. Sorry that we didn't get the blind version of this. Anyway, I will carry on with the true playthrough of the Vanishing of Ethan Carter.